Hello knowledge seekers, welcome back. In our previous session, we studied publication misconduct, the unethical practices that damage research credibility, such as plagiarism, falsification and duplicate submission. Today, we'll focus on the next important question. How do we identify publication misconduct? Detecting problems early is the first step toward preventing them. Why identification matters? You may wonder, why is it important to identify misconduct even if we already know it is wrong? Very simple, because misconduct is often hidden. Authors may disguise plagiarism or manipulate data carefully. If not detected, such papers get published and mislead future researchers. Once published, unethical research is difficult to erase even if retracted later. That's why early identification is critical for protecting the integrity of scientific literature. There are certain methods to identify. There are several methods. Number one, plagiarism detection tools. Software such as Turnitin, Authenticate, Urkun and Grammarly are widely used. These tools scan manuscripts against huge databases of published work. They highlight overlapping text and provide a similarity index. Journals often reject papers if similarity exceeds an acceptable limit, usually 10%, not 20%. Only your plagiarism should be less than 10%. Second thing, peer review process. Reviewers play a vital role in identifying misconduct. Experienced reviewers can detect suspiciously perfect data, repeated text or figures from earlier work, unexplained gaps in methodology. Peer review acts as the first defense against unethical publications. Third, image analysis tools. In biomedical sciences, image manipulation is a common issue. Tools like Image Twin or forensic software can detect if images have been duplicated, cropped or altered. Fourth one, editorial checks. Journal editors perform checks before peer review. They verify authorship details, conflicts of interest, ethical approvals and similarity reports. Fifth one, whistleblowers. Sometimes misconduct is reported by colleagues, reviewers or even readers after publication. While this may be controversial, whistleblowing has exposed major cases of fraud in science. Yeah, there are major cases has been identified by the public. Look at that. In 2012, several papers in physics and engineering were retracted after plagiarism was detected using Authenticate. Journals like Nature and Science have retracted papers after readers pointed out duplicated images. Universities often revoke degrees when plagiarism is discovered during these evaluations. It's a very serious problem. Don't risk your entire career for this plagiarism. These cases show that misconduct can be caught, but only if proper checks are in place. But what are the challenges in identifying? However, it's not easy. Identifying the misconduct is not always easy. There are challenges include paraphrased plagiarism, copying ideas but changing words slightly. This is one way of cheating. Second, data falsification, difficult to detect without raw data. Cultural differences. In some regions, students may not be trained about proper citation. Time limits in peer review. Reviewers may miss subtle misconduct due to workload. As they need to do a lot of things, they may not go into depth. This shows why a combination of software, human review and awareness is needed to curb this menace. Institutions and journals must take responsibility by providing plagiarism detection software to students and faculty. Most of the institutions provide this. training researchers about proper citation and referencing, establishing research integrity offices to investigate suspected cases, encouraging a culture where quality matters more than quantity of publication. Many times people want to publish more papers, so they involve in all these unethical practices. So please, quantity is not matter, only quality matters. Let's summarize today's session. Identifying misconduct is essential to prevent unethical research from polluting literature. Detection methods include plagiarism software, peer review, image analysis, editorial checks, and whistleblowers. Challenges remain, but strong institutional culture and technology can help to curb this particular major issue. In our next topic, we look at complaints and appeals, how cases of misconduct are reported, investigated, and resolved fairly. Thank you for joining me in this lecture on identification of publication misconduct. Here is a reflection question for you for this lecture. Do you think software tools are enough to detect plagiarism and fraud, or do we still need strong human judgment? Why or why not? Think about it and give your comments in the comment box. I will see you in the next session, next lecture on complaints and appeals in research misconduct. Till then, bye and thank you.